I run a GTD bootcamp where I teach participants how to implement GTD in their work. And the most frequent challenge I hear from people is about consistency. GTD can be so easy to drop when life gets intense, and once you've fallen behind, it can feel really hard to restart. And the truth is, even experienced GTD users like myself, we fall off the wagon from time to time. So this is why I wanted to show you how I do a full reset of my system whenever I feel overwhelmed, lost, or like GTD stopped working for me. I'm going to be using Todoist since this is what I use for GTD, but it's not about the tool. It's never about the tool with GTD. So you will benefit just as much following along with any tool that you use. So the first thing we want to do is empty out our inboxes. And I know that for many of you, this starts with actually remembering what those inboxes are. I strongly advise that you have a note somewhere in your task manager with a list of all your inboxes, so that each time you do inbox 0, your brain is not trying to think whether this is it or there's something else. It's right there for you. In Todoist, if you place an asterisk before a task, it turns into a line that you cannot accidentally tick off. So this is the place right in my Todoist inbox where I saved the information about my inboxes. So what we want to do at this step is gather all the fuzzy obligations we have from all the sources into one list so that we can calmly look at it and make a decision about what we will be working on next. Just to quickly remind you, you look at each item in your inbox and you decide what it is. If it's a small action, then you can do it right away. For instance, I will make a note to refill my pills when I'm at home. So when I read this note in my inbox, I just go into my cupboard, refill the pill box, and voila, it's done. If it's a reminder for something to be done, for instance, cancel a trial that I started, for me, it goes into my Task Manager reminders section, but for you, it could be something that goes into your calendar. If it's something for me to do, it will go either into next actions if it's a simple one-step thing, or if it's a more complex thing, I'll put it into projects. But then I will also write down the next possible action for that complex thing into my next actions. Now, I also want us to look at two specific inboxes that probably you two have, our emails and our work messengers. A lot of our tasks are often caught somewhere in these two systems, so our poor limited working memories need to do mental gymnastics in trying to aggregate the tasks from our mailboxes, from our Slack, and from our actual task manager into one so we can feel more in control and at peace, and so we can prioritize. Now, you might think that transferring tasks from email into your task manager is a fool's errand, and sometimes when you have just a little on your plate, your working memory can handle it. But if you are overwhelmed, chances are you will feel much calmer once you can see all your obligations on one page. So what do you do? Open your email, reply to anything that you can reply to in a couple of minutes, and transfer all the big tasks into your next actions or projects and next actions. Then I personally prefer to keep my email inboxes at 0 once I process them. So it's clear to me that if nothing is in my email inbox, everything is in the archive and all the potential tasks have been captured already and are in my task manager. Some people say, well, it's hard for me to find right email later once I archive it. Just start it before you archive it. Then you have to go to through a shorter list, not through your entire archive, but just through the stars. And same goes for Slack or Microsoft Teams or whatever messenger you use at work. I mark all the messages in Slack as later, and then treat my later list as my inbox. And to be able to find those messages later, I mark them as complete in Slack once I transfer it into Todoist, and then to locate it later to reply to this message once I've done the job, I just look at my completed list of tasks, and it's a shorter list and it's there. Again, that might sound complicated, but I think these systems are noisy and cluttered, and I wish I didn't have to do any of that, but the alternative of keeping in mind where each message and task is, for me, it's just a much worse alternative. You now need to make the decision on what to work on next. Remember that your next actions list is not something you have to do today or even this week. It's just the things that you have to do next when you have the time. So start by looking at tasks with any immediate or upcoming deadlines. These are your non-negotiable priorities. Then look at your calendar, paying attention to meetings, business trips, days off, And ask yourself, will you be able to meet your upcoming deadlines? If not, then either clear up your calendar or move the deadlines. And then consider how much free time you have beyond those deadlines this week or today. So ask yourself, what will you work on next? I usually choose tasks for the next 2-3 hours of my day only, never for the entire day. I notice that when I give myself an 8-hour list of things to do, almost always this leads to procrastination and negative emotions. Sometimes things take longer than I imagined and I fall behind my list. Often I feel tired early in the afternoon from working in the morning, and a packed to-do list till the end of the day makes me want to go on YouTube immediately. And also a long list of stuff somehow nudges me to start with the easiest thing first, because in my mind, after all, I committed to the big things too. I will get them done just later in the day. So instead, I choose my tasks for the next 2-3 hours based on the thought, if this is all the work I was able to do today, what would make this day okay? And that always makes me choose the important tasks first. And then when I'm done by 11 a.m., I feel really motivated by the fact that it's only 11 a.m. and I've already done the most important thing of the day. And then I ask myself again to choose a few other things to do for the next 2 hours and so on. And this approach really keeps my motivation going much longer throughout the day. So this is pretty much what I do for myself every time I get back from a sick leave or from a big teaching engagement where I neglect everything else on my plate and things just pile up. And depending on how far behind I am, this might take a few hours, but procrastinating because I feel overwhelmed and do not know where to start usually takes me even longer. So let me know if you try this, and if you want to see how I set up my GTD system from scratch in the free version of Todoist, watch this video. Bye!